Good morning to everyone, and welcome to the online service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook. Thank you, Lee and John, for bringing us the Celtic cheer this morning. I am Deb Little, and I serve this congregation as its Director of Religious Education. You may know that there are 8 festivals in the pagan, Celtic, and Wiccan calendar. The most important are Halloween, which marks the beginning of winter, and May Day or Beltane, which marks the beginning of summer. These celebrations separate the year into halves. Of course, many other peoples and faiths have rituals and stories to mark the change of seasons, and specifically the coming of summer. So today, in our tale for all ages, I will share an Iroquois legend about summer. The title of the legend is How Old Man Winter Was Driven Back. Far away in the north sky lives Old Man Winter. Every year he leaves his wigwam in the sky and comes to earth. At the foot of a mountain he builds a lodge of ice and snow, which no living being can enter. North Wind is the only friend of Old Man Winter. Near a fire, which glows but does not warm, North Wind and Old Man Winter sit and smoke and lay their plans for the next snowstorm. Then North Wind departs to drive up the snow and hail from the corners of the earth. Old Man Winter also leaves his lodge. He stalks over the mountains and the land becomes white with his breath. A deep sleep falls upon every living thing. Old Man Winter carries a great hammer, and he strikes the trees a blow as he strides through the forest. The branches break from his blows. Now one day, as Old Man Winter was stalking through a forest, he came upon a hunter's lodge. The hunter and his little boy sat within, weak from hunger. They were also very cold, for the fire in the lodge burned low. Old Man Winter laughed and shook his hammer in glee as he drew near. Once, twice, 3 times he rapped on the lodge. The little boy within heard him and rapped 3 times in reply. When Old Man Winter heard the raps of the little boy, he was very angry. He struck the lodge several sharp blows with his hammer and passed on. The fire inside the lodge burned lower and lower until it died out. As the hunter and his son sat by the ashes, numb with cold, all of a sudden a new warmth filled the lodge. The south wind gently opened the door, and a young chieftain with the face like the sun entered. He saw the dying hunter and the boy and warmed them back to life. He helped them rekindle the fire. Then he told them to take a few dried blackberries from the lodge and boil them in water. He said they must eat a portion of the blackberries and throw the rest at Old Man Winter when he returned. This would frighten him away because blackberries mean sunshine and summer heat. The hunter and the little boy said they would do as they had been told. Not many days later, Old Man Winter returned and again came rapping at their lodge. But this time the hunter and the little boy were ready. They threw the blackberries at him, and Old Man Winter ran in fear to his ice lodge. The south wind and the young chieftain followed close. When Old Man Winter was inside the ice lodge, the south wind rapped gently at the door. "Begone," said the old man. "No one but North Wind is welcome to my lodge." Then the south wind breathed soft and warm upon the door of the ice lodge, and it melted at their feet. The young chieftain passed in and sat down by the fire that had no heat. The old man raged about the lodge. "I am great and powerful," he said. "When I touch the sky, the snow falls. When I speak, hunters hide in their lodges, animals crawl into their holes, and birds fly in fear. When my hand touches the earth, it grows cold and hard, and all life dies. Begone, or I will make a snowman of you." But the young chieftain only smiled at the bluster of the old man. Slowly he filled a pipe and handed it to the old man, saying, "Here, smoke with me. It will give you strength to go to your lodge in the north sky. It's time for you to depart. You and North Wind have had your day. The days that are to come belong to South Wind and to me." I too am powerful, and I am young. I do not fear you. When I touch the earth, it grows soft and warm. Every living thing stirs in its sleep, birds and bees, flowers and trees, animals and men. When I speak, the sleeping sun awakes. See, already he begins to send down his arrows. Hasten, that they may not find you on the trail to the north sky. The old man trembled. Who are you? He whispered as he was melting at the young chieftain's feet. I am Go-Haying the Spring, answered the young chieftain. All the earth is glad when I come to drive you back to your lodge in the north sky, for I bring sunshine and love and joy. But the old man did not hear. He was far on the north sky trail, and Spring and Southwind were masters of the earth. So may it be.
Thanks, Deb, for that great telling of the story. Good morning, friends. My name is Lorraine Stidd, and I'm pleased to serve as your worship associate this morning. Our minister is the Reverend Margie Allen, and our Director of Religious Education is Deb Little, who runs our children and youth program that takes place each Sunday morning from 9:45 to 10:15. I'd like to offer a warm welcome to anyone who is joining us for the first time. We are glad that you're here, and we hope that your time with us will provide inspiration and nourishment for your spirit. Our services vary in style and content, so we hope you will visit us more than once to get a true sense of who we are as a community of faith. Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition with two commitments: freedom of belief and an orientation toward inclusion, interdependence, and justice. You can find additional information about the 7 principles we strive to live by on our webpage at UUFSB.org. At the conclusion of the morning service, please plan to stay with us following the service for a few minutes of virtual social time to say hi and wave to each other. Afterwards, we encourage you to move into a smaller chat room for deeper conversation. You can find those groups by going to our website, uufsb.org, or yesterday's news feed. Click on Small Group Chats, and you will be connected with other people who will enjoy talking with you. During our annual pledge drive, which is now heading into the home stretch for this year, a member of our fellowship will present a brief statement about why they choose to pledge their financial support. This week, Dee Dee Cook will share her UU Minute after the chalice lighting. Thanks to all who have sent your pledges. You may check the progress of our pledge drive on the website, and we encourage anyone who has not submitted their pledge yet to send it this week. Thank you for your generosity.
Good morning, friends. Let the sound of our morning bell open wide for you the door to this sanctuary and to our service. May we together here awaken to the everyday beauty of this spring morning and the seeds of possibility in the week to come.
As I light this chalice with these words by Kate McPhee, you may want to light a candle or chalice of your own. Around us, light is returning. It rekindles the spirit of life in the skeletons of trees. It brings forth new shoots from the soil. It wakes us from our winter slumber and invites us to see what lies beyond. We light this chalice in the spirit of our Earth's awakening and to reaffirm our commitment to the value of our home.
This Beltane morning, let's see, I have to adjust something here. We are going to open our service with the traditional pagan invitation to find ourselves on the compass of the eternal powers within and around us all. If you like and are able, you can acknowledge the direction we address by pointing or turning towards it as I speak of that direction. And we'll begin in the east and proceed clockwise. In the east, we name the power of the breath, the power of the wind of our lungs, of the sacred song of our talking and of our listening. Silence here is about to yield to words. In the east, the sun comes to rise again over the great blue, endless waters of the sea. Oh, I just got a message that I skipped something. Let's run that. I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Dorothea Cook. My nickname is Dee Dee. When I was 10 years old, my mother tried to teach me fiscal responsibility. She gave me $4 a month, a ledger book, and a pie chart. She neatly laid out all my expenditures, Girl Scout dues, birthday gifts, banking, and 20% to the church. All I had to do was follow the chart and enter my expenses into the book. I think you can guess how well this worked. Somehow, the money intended for church and banking got spent on candy and comic books. And at the end of the month, before Mom reviewed my finances, I had to indulge in some pretty creative bookkeeping. So, when I first joined the fellowship and heard about the annual pledge drive, my inner 10-year-old panicked. Oh no, the grown-ups are coming to check my ledger book. But then I realized that what was missing from my mother's tutorial was the idea of contributing to a community, of giving back. And this is what the pledge drive is truly about. Each year, we have a chance to assess what this fellowship means to us. But how can you measure the value of finding a true spiritual home? A community that reflects your values and puts them into action. Worship services that move you and inspire you to grow. With each year, my husband Peter and I value this fellowship more and more. And with each year, when we can, we increase our pledge. Thank you.
Many thanks to Dee Dee for that. And now let's see if I can pull it together. We're going to begin in the east, which for me is over there. In the east, we name the power of the breath, the power of the wind of our lungs, of the sacred song of our talking and of our listening. Silence here is about to yield to words. In the east, the sun comes to rise again over the great blue, endless waters of the sea. May we know the gift of this mystery, each new day an invocation of hope. From the south, we draw in the power of blood and fire and the fierceness of the will to live, the power of zenith, of revelation, of faith. May we know the gift of this heat, its insistence, of this unbearable, uncontainable love, its courage. In the south comes the quickening of the story we are honored to hear. In the south, prayer takes to its feet. May we be washed in the power of the west, the power of water and penetrating peace and strong emotion, the power of yielding, of deepening, of wading in the water, one with another. May we know the gift of this abundance, this drowning, the rushing blue flow of time and change. How we long to be overcome and fear it. In the West, prayer, like water, wears away all obstacles. In the power of the north, may we find refuge, the deep, safe, warm, dark womb of life and death, the power of the slowing heartbeat of sleep and dreaming. May we know the gift of this disappearance, this withering and letting go. May we know its irony, how we rise again. In the north, our prayer is a thanksgiving that good prevails. Our opening hymn this morning is a crowdsourced reworking of hymn number 266, Now the Green Blade Riseth. In this version, the pagan spirit of irrepressible life and potency, fertility, and birth comes to the fore. The green blade riseth, no Viagra required, and does its natural thing, the May Day thing, the spring fling. Love lives again. Please sing along.
Please join us in this responsive reading by Jane Zepka. I will begin with the regular type. I would ask you to join Reverend Margie in reading aloud the italicized response. O Spirit of life and renewal, we have wintered enough, mourned enough, oppressed ourselves enough.
Our souls are too long cold and buried, our dreams all but forgotten, our hopes unheard. We are waiting to rise from the dead.
In this, the season of steady rebirth, we awaken to the power so abundant, so holy, that returns each year through earth and sky.
We will find our hearts again and our good spirits. We will love and believe and give and wonder and feel again the eternal powers.
The flow of life moves ever onward through one faithful spring and another, and now another.
May we be forever grateful.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Come and settle in with me now for our time of meditation, reflection, prayer. You might want to roll your head on your neck a little bit. Loosen your shoulders, arms, your hands. Flex your legs at your knee and your ankle. Get your blood moving a little bit. And then take a deep breath. Relax. Close your eyes. And walk with me in the cool spring woods. You've been here before on a path littered with last fall's dead leaves, with pine needles, small stones, twigs, tall trees on either side of you with their new leaves unfurling. That color called spring green. Sunlight filters through the branches, blinks on the forest floor here and there. A little breeze wafting by carries the scent of wet humus and pine. In the distance, you can hear the water in a stream talking to the stones as it passes between and over them. And the birds, oh my, it's early still. Above the murmur of the stream, you can hear their mating songs and calls that warn of your presence in their woods. Along the edges of the path you walk, you see other signs of life emerging. Every few feet as you walk, you stoop down to look more closely at something, at greening things, at blossoms, at spring mushrooms, at the telltale droppings and paw and claw prints of small mammals that have passed through there. Some are old friends, some are new to you, all alive, all becoming or unbecoming like you. In their colors and habit and realm, they are like you. You too belong here. As we enter into a bit of silence together, you may wish to open your eyes to focus in meditation on the 4 photos that I've collected from the Creative Commons, photos of spring wildflowers in delicious bloom. Or you can choose to continue your walk with your eyes closed. No worries, you'll be able to see these photos later as well. And after a while, Peter Winkler's piano will bring us out of the woods, out of the silence, with hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. I hope that you'll feel like joining those birds in song at that time.
How lovely. We support and sustain our fellowship through gifts of time, talent, and money. For us, giving is a spiritual practice. Each month, we share the plate with an organization devoted to social justice. Our social justice partner for the month of May is the Center for Environmental Education and Discovery, or SEED. SEED is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to connect people with nature. This local organization strives to reach underserved communities and asks for help to provide camperships to children from our surrounding area, including North Bellport and Patchogue, who might otherwise be unable to afford camp. The goal of SEED's full-day, one-week outdoor camp is to give kids opportunities to get outdoors, have fun, get dirty, and to experience awe while immersed in nature. Please support this special organization's important work. During this time when we cannot take a collection in person, please continue to send your pledge payments and contributions to social justice. You can send a check to the address on the screen, use the donate button on the UUFSB website, or simply click the link in the chat box right now. All your gifts are most gratefully received.
Tra-la, it's May, the lusty month of May, that lovely month when everyone goes blissfully astray. Tra-la, it's here, that shocking time of year, when tons of wicked little thoughts merrily appear. It's me, that gorgeous holiday, when all the world is brimming with fun, wholesome or un, it's mad, it's gay, a libelous display, those dreary vows that everyone takes, everyone breaks, everyone makes divine mistakes, the musty month of May. Tra-la, it's May, the lusty month of May, that darling month when everyone throws self-control away. It's time to do a wretched thing or two, and try to make each precious day one you'll always rue. Tra-la, it's May, the month of yes you may, the time for every frivolous whim, proper or im, it's wild, it's gay, a blot in every way. The birds and bees with all of their vast amorous past gaze at the human race aghast. A musty month of May.
Marvelous. Oh my God. Bethany and Maureen. Maureen wrote me many weeks ago to suggest this song from the first act of Camelot for this May Day service. I needed it, so I said, oh yes, indeed. And she needed it, as you can absolutely tell from how she sang it for us. No, I think we all need the radical infusion of natural energy that the land and sky and waters around us offer us at this peak of spring. It's been an extra long pandemic-style winter. Most of us are nursing a bit of stir crazy and cabin fever. And thankfully, it looks like the virus is easing up enough to give us just a little opening for some luscious, lusty, spring lubricated, self-indulgent rambunctiousness. Let me revisit some of the scandalous ideas Maureen sang about, just in case the song went by too fast for you to track. Tra-la, it's May, That lovely month when everyone goes blissfully astray, that shocking time of year when tons of wicked little thoughts merrily appear, that gorgeous holiday when all the world is brimming with fun, wholesome or un. It's mad, it's gay, a libelous display. Those dreary vows that everyone takes, everyone breaks, everyone makes divine mistakes. That darling month when everyone throws self-control away. It's time to do a wretched thing or two and try to make each precious day one you will always rue. The month of yes, you may, a time for every frivolous whim, proper or im. It's wild, it's gay, a blot in every way. The birds and bees with all their vast amorous past gaze at the human race aghast. Mayday, mayday, mayday. We need a little help here. Emergency need for some spring. And here it is, help at hand. The natural world is in the middle of its annual uprising, its rebellion against the forces that silence and still and freeze and kill and starve. Against all odds in every year, life somehow persists, resists, reestablishes itself in a field of death with a gusto unabashed by loss or fear, driven by lust and joy and warmth and playful company and refreshing new delights to eat and drink after the rigors of a long deprivation hibernation. That's what we've been in. And perhaps this is the core message of my ministry. You are an animal too, a furry mammal whose body has needs. This impulse to delight in life lives in you too and rises like sap in the spring and moves you towards joy. Spring for living things is the ultimate chemotherapy, an infusion of the energy of awakening, of song and chatter, of recreation and procreation, of vivid, unruly colors and intoxicating smells and tastes, the sensation of waves and wind and the sun's warmth on bare skin. This is a time of unrepentant blossoming and enticement and excitement. At our house here, it started with the white splash of the snowdrops some months ago now. Then the unabashed yellow exclamation of the forsythia. Perhaps you have one too. And now the showy daffodils and tulips with their wide mouths and deep throats. The azalea outside our front door is readying its buds packed with wildly pink little dresses. The maples are sending down their whirligigs, guiding the next generations of maple trees to promising ground. That promising ground happens to be my unprepared, unplanted raised bed garden where they're coming up already, rogue saplings with deep roots. Alongside the baby lettuces and little shoots of red chard from last spring's planting and some self-seeded bachelor's buttons in the tub in which last summer a cacophony of wildflowers greeted the days. This is a time of unrestrained blossoming and song, the season of strutting, of look what I've got, of come hither. Look again at these outrageous outfits on the natural Oscars red carpet this season. This is the Eastern redbud, so endemic to my Southwestern Virginia childhood. Their pink bouquets springing straight out of the branch and trunk like they couldn't even be bothered to wait for the tip of the twig. This is the crazy guy borage, Such an edible flower, and so wild, decked out in this vibrant blue, his pants unzipped from the ankle to the hip, so ready for the next visitor. Come on down, he says. And here's a little chorus of bloodroot dressed in matching costumes, sitting on their little green cushions. Some of the first woodland wildflowers to sing together that yellow-throated song about lusty May. And finally, the trout lily, Lady Trout Lily, on her speckled throne, bowing in warm spring greeting. No, she is saying into the mic, these jewels are mine, my very own. Come closer. Their colors are some of the colors of the ribbons that we interwove when we enjoyed a rather chaotic dance around the maypole as part of a May Day service in 2015. This is the season of blossoming. You too can dare to unfold. Show your true colors, vie for the prize. You can blossom too. Self-indulgence can have its hour and its way with you and yours. Take care, be fair, but dare to be showy in season. And there's going to be another show going on this month besides yours, brought to us by some of the world's most patient lovers. The 17-year cicadas, the red-eyed ones, are scheduled for their lightning-fast emergence, courtship, and procreation meeting around the middle of this month. And a bit of history here. One of the earliest American naturalists to observe, document, and predict the 17-year life cycle of brood X, as we call it now, the periodical cicadas, was Benjamin Banneker. Benjamin was born in 1731 to a free African American woman and a formerly enslaved man in Baltimore County, Maryland. Banneker's mostly remembered for helping to survey the District of Columbia and set the original boundaries of the nation's new federal capital in 1791. But he also devoted much of his time in the interim to exploring the mysteries of mathematics and time and nature, including the brood X cicada emergences that happened in his lifetime, 1749, 1766, 1783, and 1800. And there have been 12 such public displays of cicada affection since he witnessed his last. And now we, if we're lucky, will be treated to the spectacle ourselves. Michael Ropp, professor of entomology at the University of Maryland, tells us, quote, these teenagers have been underground for 17 years, and hey, in May, they're coming up. It's going to be a big boy band up in the treetops as the males try to attract their mates. In 2004, on Long Island, the performance was a big bust. Scientists have wondered why that is, and they speculate that it might have to do with how eager we seem to be here on Long Island to cut down trees and also to poison our lawns with chemicals. So there is a good chance that we'll be left out of the fun again. But if you're interested, there's an app you can download if you'd like to help create some tracking data. We'll put the URL, the link in the chat for you right now. The app is called Cicada Safari. I hope you can see it there now. One interpretation for the Gaelic word for the May festival, which we pronounce Beltane, finds in its root the idea of bright fire. Bonfires were always part of the celebration of Beltane in all the Celtic lands. Prayers were made in its warmth and light for the well-being of family and animals and crops. In Ireland especially, the cattle were driven between the fires for protection from disease. Human animals made a show of jumping the fire for good luck in the new year ahead. It's this fire I wish for us as our deadening dance with the COVID-19 virus slowly winds down. I'm wishing you fire as you recover, as you recreate your life and connections with all of life, the fire of desire and creativity, the fire of long sunny days and bright vital colors, the fire of commitment to new projects, new relationships, maybe even a new church, the fire you ingest when you take in the special greens and fruits that Long Island offers at the cool start of the growing year, the fire of sound that we may get to hear, the sound of the cicada in love. D.H. Lawrence sums it up in this excerpt from his poem, The Enkindled Spring. This spring, as it comes, bursts up in bonfires green, wild puffing of emerald trees and flame-filled bushes, thorn blossom lifting in wreaths of smoke between where the wood fumes up and the watery flickering rushes. I am amazed at this spring, this conflagration of green fires lit on the soil of the earth, this blaze of growing. Amen. Our song leaders for our closing hymn are soloist Bina David with music director Jeff Hamrick on piano. Both are members of the First Unitarian Church in Hyde Park, Chicago, where I spent a lot of time during my seminary years. My seminary was right across the street. They recorded this hymn last November, and I hope that you'll join Bina in singing hymn number 77, Seek Not Afar for Beauty. Happiness is a flower blooming at your door.
Seek not afar for beauty, lo, it glows in dew-white grasses all about your feet, in birds in sunshine, childish faces sweet, in stars and mountain summits topped with snows. Go not abroad for happiness, behold, it is a flower blooming at your door. Bring love and laughter home and evermore. Joy shall be yours as changing years unfold, in wonder workings or some bush aflame. We look for truth and fancy it concealed, but in earth's common things it stands revealed. While grass and flowers and stars spell out,
I love that occasionally we can invite guests from far away, people we don't even know, to come and share their musical gifts with us. So I'm very grateful for our connection with other congregations and other Unitarian Universalists. Our closing words are a poem called The Pig, by Anonymous. It's very short. It was the 1st of May, a lovely, warm spring day. I was strolling down the street in drunken pride, but my knees were all aflutter and I landed in the gutter and a pig came up and lay down by my side. Yes, I lay there in the gutter and a pig came up and lay down by my side. I lay there in the gutter, thinking thoughts I could not utter, when a lady passing by did softly say, "You can tell a man who boozes by the company he chooses." And the pig got up and slowly walked away. Try not to be that person while you're sowing your wild oats.
As I extinguish this chalice, I share these words by Rumi. Do not worry if all the candles in the world flicker and die. We have the spark that lights the fire.
Mary Oliver wrote in her poem, Wild Geese, "Let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." In that spirit, here's a poem I wrote last night for you in benediction this morning. When all is said and done, go in peace into this day and season. Let the mid-spring festival erupting around you remind you that you too have spring to fling, beauty to find, songs to sing, lights to shine, lust you must, and birds and bees, dust to dust and dirty knees, nests to build, eggs to hatch, mates to date, loves to catch, foods to taste, claims to stake, wickets to stick, molehills to make, oats to sow, colors to show, stuff to strut, places to go. This is your spring too. Let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Amen.
Wonderful.
Beautiful service. Wow.
Great service. Great service. Yay.
Yes.
Yay, yay, yay.
Happy May Day, everybody.
And in how
Yesterday.
many services would we get to hear the lusty month of May? Not in my Methodist service.
Hillary was joking when I suggested it. She's like,
Oh,
"Sounds good."
Maureen, that was wonderful.
So it was-
Great.
You gave it a
Justice, Maureen. Yay.
Yay.
You did it justice. It's right.
it was a lusty interpretation.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I kept hearing Maureen say, in the lusty month of me. And I laughed out loud. I had to laugh out loud every time. Perfect.
Very sweet. Very sweet. Haven't heard it in years. Years. It was wonderful.
John,
we love the
perfect
music.
music.
That was so great.
Thank you, John and Lee.
Well,
I love that.
think I heard, I think I heard Margie saying no Viagra needed.
Right.
Oh, I
Yeah.
so Viagra
I tried to be subtle.
That's
That is not subtle.
No.
And Dan, I loved your harmonization of the last verse.
Oh yeah, that was stunning.
Beautiful.
I also rewrote the piano part because the piano part in the hymnal is really awful.
Yeah.
We are so
Just
fortunate.
toss that off.
We are very lucky to have you.
Really, really beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
And it sounded like you were singing bass in one part there.
Yes, it
I
did.
was.
Huh?
I was wondering who that was.
Yeah.
I sing the bass, tenor, and alto, and the Pond Sisters sing the soprano.
I'm going to complain to the Bass Singers Union.
Beautiful chamber group we have there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
John and Lee, that was
Wonderful.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
So uplifting.
Beautiful. It's perfect
Dee Dee,
for today.
yes, Dee Dee, I wanted to say how much I appreciated your talk too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes. How sweet.
Delightful.
Perfect.
I love the ledger. You know,
Oh, I know. I was so scared. Every month my mom would say, okay, it's time to check the ledger book. And I'd go upstairs.
Book the books.
I love the Girl Scout dude. I could just feel that money in my
and the creative accounting you had to